and welcome back to the SmarkTank Revolution. I am Mr. Donnie Wonderful, aka Big Time Donnie, and let's get right into it, man. Wow. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Vince. If you haven't heard or currently living under a rock, a couple of days ago, I believe it was Thursday, the chairman of the board, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, officially retired at 77 with a message on Twitter, which I'm pretty sure that he did not type. That had to be somebody else's Twitter finger saying OMG. I can't imagine Vince McMahon saying OMG. Well, it's time for me to retire. And but no, nevertheless, man, like it was it's one of those things that shocks the industry for as long as I can remember. And literally, because Vince has done this for 40 years, and I'm not 40 at all. Late 30s, but not 40. Vince McMahon has been the head of WWF/WWE. It's just always been him. Even before we knew he actually ran the company, he was always there as a commentator, which I thought he did pretty good as a commentator. I think going back, when we do a commentary pair analysis, I think that Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler had great chemistry, should rank high. Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels on those Monday Night Raws should rank really high, and Vince McMahon and Jesse Ventura should rank really high. But as the CEO, as the chairman of the board, and as a promoter, who knows what he wants to, who knows what he wants out of his performers. You would have to be pretty good at everything. Vince McMahon was an excellent promo. I did an Essentials episode. I think it was 6 or 7 on Vince McMahon. Go back and check that out if you haven't. But Vince McMahon can do everything well. Excellent promo. He had to sell some of these gimmicks to his talent back in the early New Generation days. And if he was able to convince you to be a garbage truck driver, a garbage man as a wrestler, then his skills. Yeah, we should call him the pastor of persuasion and not me. Just saying. But nevertheless, not to get too off track, I just wanted to turn this live mic on and just actually talk about it. It's the changing of the guard, essentially. Well, not even essentially, because that's what it is. It's the changing of the guard. Already, Triple H is back. Stephanie McMahon is the co-chairwoman. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here. I know that SummerSlam is approaching. Actually, SummerSlam's this Saturday at the time of recording. Today is July 26th. But I know those plans are already set in stone. I'm just curious to see when Raw and SmackDown will be emancipated from the influence of Mr. McMahon, of Vince. Now that Triple H is the head of creative, I'm wondering if this is the death of sports entertainment in the revival of professional wrestling. We know that if you're in the know, like SmarkTank Revolution, we know that there are certain terms Vince didn't like. Vince didn't like title shot. Instead, it was title opportunity. There was that weird time when it was either like a year and a half ago where they would show WWE superstars. When they were watching matches that were happening live, they would stand at an angle where you can see their whole front. So it's not like normally you and I, and you the listener, me the commentator at right now, excuse me. When we watch television, we stand or sit rather right in front of it, or even at an angle, but our like we're facing it. It's kind of weird. Like Vince didn't like an angle in which wrestlers were standing when they were watching the monitor of of matches that were going on and had that changed. Vince also, there's a story that Michael Cole or someone made a reference to a referee by name, and Vince didn't know the name, so he stopped referring to referees at all, like by their names. So I remember growing up, like we knew Mike Chioda, we knew referee Tim White, Gorilla Monsoon's son, Joey Morella, even Bill Alfonso was a referee. But these were names that we knew, and that changed, and just those preferences kind of changed a lot. It seemed like those Vince-isms that we grew up with were taken away from us. And I'm pretty sure it was difficult for wrestlers that were in the business for years. I'm talking about like the 20 at the time, like the 20-year vets for like HBK and those guys to convert to, unless they had some really, really drastic and dramatic drill sergeant practice at eliminating. Hey, I want a title. I want a title instead of saying title shot. I want a title opportunity. It just didn't sound. It didn't sound. Ugh. It just sounded disgusting to me. But with and I wanted to make this really quick. But with Triple H and Stephanie back, I wonder if this will be the revival of professional wrestling. How long will it take for Raw to become watchable again? And then, what about Vince's guys? What does this mean for Bruce Pritchard? What does it mean for Kevin Dunn? Vince's guys. What does it mean for them? Already, and thank God, and I'm not talking bad about Johnny Laurinaitis, but I mean, if Johnny Ace was still there and had not been entangled in this scandal that's going on, sexual misconduct, what if Johnny Ace took over? What if WWE was ran by Johnny Laurinaitis? But yeah, there was a couple of moves that were made. I wonder what Nick Khan. Well, not necessarily Nick Khan, but Jeff Jarrett's in the fold. Jeff Jarrett and Hunter. Man, there's some great wrestling minds. Great wrestling minds. With Hunter being the head of creative, I'm interested into seeing where this is going to take us. I'm really interested and excited to see where it's going to take us. And it's still thank you, Vince. But let's be honest, like over the past few years, with wrestlers superstars rather, being shoved down our throats or, shoved in front of us, it's the influences were clearly distinguishable when it came from Vince McMahon. And for years, people have been saying Vince has been out of touch. Well, what can we say now? I'll give WWE 8 weeks before you really see a drastic change. And 8 weeks is a stretch. I don't think they plan 2 months ahead, or maybe they do, maybe longer. But I just want to say before we see the drastic change, it should likely take 8 weeks or less. Whatever they have in place, I'm pretty sure Hunter's going over right now, keeping what he wants, throwing away the rest. The supermarket mentality, you go in a supermarket, you don't buy everything in the supermarket, you take what you want and omit the rest. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen now. Ooh, what does that mean for Roman Reigns? What about Brock Lesnar? What about those guys? The part-time guys that come in for the major paydays. Is that still going to happen? Is that still going to be what they rely on for box office? I mean, Brock Lesnar left. If he's gone, I'm gone. What does that mean for SummerSlam this Saturday? As far as plans, the long-term plans, there's a lot of things shaking up there in the office. I'm pretty sure. But for that memorable man that sat in the corner office on the 4th floor, I just wanted to give this little quick take. I should be with Joey this Saturday reviewing SummerSlam, and we're going to talk about it more in depth then. But Vince McMahon, thank you, Vince, for the WWE Universe. Let's ride this tidal wave together, because I'm pretty sure a change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will. I know that was terrible. I'm sorry. But nevertheless, this has been the benevolent, intelligent, extravagant, and eloquent Mr. Donnie Wonderful, a.k.a. Big Time Donnie, just dropping a quick take on the departure of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Till the next time, guys. Thanks for listening.